that's been kicked in the nuts by fake news. Nobody knows what to believe.
I don't know what I said.
We need one maverick newsman to cut through all the noise and tell us what's really real.
I'm not that guy. Hello! Welcome to Really Real with Richie Redding. I'm Richie Redding, and this is the Blood in the Streets episode. It was a wild one. What a wild-ass week we've had of discontent, disrest, cancellations. And what else did we have, Bobby? We had rumbles on sidewalks. We had rumbles on docks. It was really something. It's been an exciting week as an internet creature.
It was everything the British asked for. We fought them on land. We fought them on sea.
We really did. We really did. Not gonna lie, it wasn't a good week of fights for if you're into watching white guys win. It was tough on that front. Actually, the Jake Paul fight was I watched just a stream of that the next day. Did you watch that?
I caught the replay.
Yeah, dude, Nate Diaz is so damn funny that like you're watching that fight and it's like, did he train at all for this? And that's like 90% of the time, and then the other 10%, like, yo, he might knock his ass out right now. But like, I feel like there's just a level of fighter with dudes like him that like, I remember Chuck Liddell would come out of retirement like, you know, every 3 years after he'd already been retired for like 5 years, and he would just take an ass beating for a couple $1 million. It's just like at that point he doesn't care about his reputation, about his record or anything like that. It's clearly like, this is a transaction and I'm going to stand in here, take a few haymakers and bleed for millions of dollars. But yeah, and with Nate, like, there was part of me that was thinking that way, and then when at the end, which will be very entertaining, because he said that Jake Paul said that he put $10 million on the table to do an octagon fight, like an actual MMA fight, which I think Jake should really be careful what he asked for there. But the line, so like Shane Gillis said before that he was like no matter what Nate does, he's like just cool. Like, if he wins, he's cool. If he loses, he's even cooler. Like, there's the fight where he like could have knocked the guy out, and instead of doing it, he was just like, ha 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 ha, had you. And in this one, when classy Jimmy Lennon turned the mic back to him and was like, what do you think of an MMA fight? And he's like, I had the triangle choke in the ninth, but I didn't sink it in, so I kind of had you there. But you know me, I'll fight anyone. I don't give a fuck. And the place just went bonkers, and it's like, that's the raddest dude alive. To have that. Can you imagine actually being that tough that you could just say that in real life and people actually believing you? Like, not one person in that place didn't believe him when he said, I don't give a fuck. That dude's rad. But also, we're talking Barbie, boys. I don't know if any of you other guys out there like getting your dick sucked, but if you do, take your girl with Barbie. That's the move. That's the cheat code. And there is plenty of representation in this Barbie. If you're at all worried about, is there a tranny Barbie? Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Of course there is. It took my girl about 20 seconds longer to spot her than I did. It's all right. It's an okay movie. At the exact point where I was like, all right, wrap this thing up. It's 10 minutes too long. I look over and my girl is crying. So it really vatches it up. But the thing to talk about is Ryan Gosling got into retarded good shape for this thing, and he's Brad Pitt Fight Club like ripped, but it's just so funny that I mean the guy must have put in the most ridiculous diet and the hardest like training session that he's ever had in his life, but nobody is ever going to say when they talk to a personal trainer, yeah, I just want to be Ken in Barbie ripped. Like, it's 25 years later, people are still trying to look like Tyler Durden. Not one dude is ever going to be like, Barbie my shit up, bro. But yeah, so as promised, the first fight of the week, or just insanity of the weekend. I feel like I was like the Forrest Gump of this thing, that I was right there, but still unaffected by it. That I got to the stand at like 6:30, and that whole thing happened from like 4 to 4:30. Had no idea what was going on, other than that there was. I mean, I literally saw 300 cops probably, like, standing around Union Square, and there was still a helicopter, and there was mad paddy wagons and shit. And like finally got to the stand, like, what the fuck is going on here? They're like, oh yeah, there was a riot. Like, how? Why? Like some Twitch streamer? Like, really? Twiz, did news of this get back to Nigeria? It did, dude. Okay, so for people that don't know, what's the guy's name? It's Kai Cenat.
Exactly.
He promised people, he promised people that he was going to be giving away PlayStations and $100 gift cards, but he didn't even say how many PlayStations, right? He just had a few PS5s. How funny would it be if it was actual like original PlayStations, and he's just chucking them out the window, and people are like, "The fuck am I gonna do with this CD player? This sucks." But yeah, let's go to the footage, shall we, Bobby? For anybody that's uninitiated. And pause it. Dude, that's a fraction of the people that were there. Like, at one point, it went down, I think, it went down either 14th, it must have been right down 14th Street. And, like, the entire city block was filled with people all going after his car. Keep playing it. Actually, play it back. I was trying to figure out what are they, because it sounds like a chant. Right? Right there. Did you catch anything? Is his name Kai Cenat? He's wildly successful if his name is Snot. I got nothing. Yeah, I don't know. I can't figure it out, but it quickly turned into people jumping up and down on cars, smashing windows, and an absolute melee of like 50 people rumbling, and then go to like 45 seconds, I think, that you see him. They start, because he started off on top of like the subway vestibule, and then gets back in his car, and everybody starts chasing the car, and there was like 15 people. Skim past that. There's like 15 people hanging onto the car, and apparently like the initial charges, it was that street where it happened. You're not gonna be able to see it. Just stop it by. But the initial charges were supposedly for like endangering people by driving with people on top of the car, but dude, a bunch of people jump on my car, I am not stopping. Right? Like if you start it or not, it
Yeah, you
isn't
gotta get out of
illegal.
there.
If you're in a riot situation, because there's some other dickhead, we're gonna show that next. Some other dickhead incited a bunch of people to jump on top of a car and steal stuff. But like, what is your obligation if you're in a riot situation for other people's safety? Right? I've always wondered that when it's like the brink of societal collapse and like you're still proceeding with caution on yellow. Nah, we're blasting motherfuckers, dude. That's why we got this SUV. That's why I got the Glock 26. You know what I'm saying? So skip to where was it, Bobby? I put it in the notes. It's like 122.
Is there anything you want to say to your followers?
What happened to the PlayStations, Kai? What happened?
This dude, so he's already been booked, and he's.
Is there anything you want to say to your followers?
What happened to the PlayStations,
Yeah, back to
Kai? What happened?
That's the best. That's as good as TMZ will ever get, like in terms of actual journalism. What happened to the PlayStations, Kai? Like that's.
Ooh, did he not have any though?
I think he had some, but like, yeah. I mean, the guy has 14 million followers, and obviously, clearly underestimate. Well, this is the thing. Did he underestimate how many people were going to show up? Or did he set off some shit on purpose? Because, like, it's going to be a net positive for the fucking guy, right? Like,
Yeah.
anybody
absolutely.
that doesn't know him already, he's trending in Nigeria, for fuck's sake, right?
why-
That's all the proof we need. Twiz knows about this shit.
Which is why
So-
we here at Really Real will be giving away PS5s this Friday at the Stand, 7 p.m. Come on out. See you
That's
there,
right.
Christian.
Tomorrow in Dewey Beach, I will be giving away one Game Boy. No cartridges. Find your own Tetris, dude. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's like it's going to be so he's charged with inciting a riot, and I don't know. Is there any possible parallel that we can think of somebody charged with inciting a riot? How do you prove intent? How do you prove intent?
At least there were a few PS5s at this riot.
Yeah. PS6. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna be very weird to see those two things get prosecuted kind of at the same time, right? Because you can both take the same defense, which is like, oh, I'm dumb. I didn't know that. How would I know people were gonna do that? Right. It is hilarious that Trump basically he does have a semi good defense that his lawyer, who is also one of the named co-conspirators, is the worst lawyer in the world. And like there was one guy that kept telling him that that it was legitimately stolen, even though like a dozen other lawyers told him that he didn't have any claims. So he can say that guy was the only one that he believed, and hence that's the defense. But yeah, so here's this. Oh, you know what? I did not give you the right thing for. I didn't give you the right link, but to see the lesser, shittier little mini riot happening within the riot. But this is the single greatest queef of a take that I've ever seen ever on a video. So like Rappaport, who I can't stand that fucking guy's social media, but I don't know, I hate follow him. He basically posted like, this is embarrassing and blah 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 whatever about the Twitch stream riot, and then this chick posts, this is not, pull this up, Bobby. This is not embarrassing. These are young boys who are systematically oppressed, looking to see a young black famous boy and to maybe receive something free for once in their life. Most of these kids are in middle school. My son was there yesterday with two black 13-year-old friends, and the pigs were attacking them because they are black and they are gathering, and the pigs feel threatened. Anyway, I'm not articulate about these things, but love these children. Don't judge them. Dude. If there's ever been a greater white knight of a savior, it's like, what's the woke version of the anti-Karen, of somebody that's just trying to save everybody no matter what they do? Did you not see the 60 people that were having a fist fight? Like, a bunch of people just showed up with brooms trying to have a broom rumble. You're telling me there were just Harry Potter fans that were playing Quidditch or whatever that gay shit is called? And then they act like cops just show up whenever black people are just hanging out and just start cracking heads. Like, yeah, they're just breaking into public schools and just fucking showing up with the truncheons. But this goofy bitch saying the pigs. So, okay, so go to the pictures of her. Go to the one with her holding the purse.
One sec.
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
This woman, that's how she talks in real life. The pigs are fucking coming after my son's friends. These fucking pigs. Her job is selling purses online. It's just not. It's at Marlowe's Goods Kate or Goods. Yeah, Marlowe Goods Kate. If you're telling me that this woman would not immediately call the cops on somebody if she was slightly uncomfortable, you can absolutely kiss my ass.
I thought
The
for
pigs.
a second it was Marlo Good Skate. And I was like, oh,
I did
maybe
too.
she's a good skate. Like, she's a skate chick. She does actually dislike the police. But no, she's selling very expensive purses.
Yes. Yeah. As long as you're not a pig, you can get one of these $1,000 purses.
That are made out of pig, ironically.
I see what you did there, Robert. I see what you did. But things are not all looking down for New York City, because this is one that I did bring this to our attention not but a month ago, I think, that, and now New York Post has finally caught on to it, that, where is it? Street whores are back. That's right. Video shows open-air prostitution in yet another NYC neighborhood as hookers stroll in broad daylight. Remember I told you that when I was going past Madison Square Garden at like 7 p.m. or whatever, there was some like old school street hoes?
No,
Bobby?
tell me
Bobby,
more.
you were there?
What time and how would you designate them from the average New Yorker, per se?
Oh, see, now that's a great question. The thing about a street hoe is that they really have to put it out there. Like, they really need to distinguish themselves from being just a girl that is perhaps scantily dressed. Okay. Like, you got to have the clear bottom shoes. You got to shake, like, literally shaking it at cars, you know, like maybe pull one out and like, hey, baby. Like, if you can almost see a girl's ass as she's trying to talk to you, 100% of the time, she is a prostitute.
Okay, now if, let's say, Twiz thought he saw a prostitute and he wanted to see and confirm for sure, how should he interact with her? at, say, 7 o'clock tomorrow outside of Penn Station?
I mean, if there's a girl that's scantily dressed and you just go like this and she comes to you, hew her. That is a hew her. Yeah, but so hold on. So here's this article. The raunchy old days are back in East New York, where some blocks are overrun by hookers hawking early morning sex, with one strutting herself nearly naked in the middle of a street. Shocking new footage posted online shows. At 7 a.m. on July 28th on Sheffield Avenue, a woman wearing a see-through orange negligee and silver platform heels can be seen walking back and forth in front of a parked car next to a trash truck in an industrial block. If you would, please. Bobby? Do you have the video?
Nope, just got a bunch of pics. Give me 1 sec, I'll get the video.
Oh, but, well, I think these pics kind of speak for themselves. That's not a lady just out to, she's not dressed to impress. And, dude, 7 a.m. is wild. That, maybe it's the equivalent of, like, how Gotham Comedy Club isn't doing the midnight show anymore. Maybe these whores are just tired of pulling the late shift. And they're like, look, when are all dicks hard? The morning.
Yeah, somebody's got to take care of third shift too, right?
Dude, this might be the smartest thing the Hookers Union has ever put together. Take care of that morning wood. That way you get the first one. Guys probably aren't all drunk and shit. And I don't think serial killers really pull hoes off the street in the morning. I fully support this. I was actually thinking this. Wait, zoom in on her. Shit. Oh, the other part is, if it's a street whore or not, is they're not great. That's yeah. Yeah, she doesn't look like she's on her way to the club. But
do you think these women are mad they censored their faces? Like, this could be a good marketing campaign if they were like, it's this corner and these are the different pics.
I don't think you need to see their face to really get the point of that picture.
That's Sloppy Betty. You can get her for half off between the hours of 7 and 9.
You think? I don't think there's a discount necessarily. You think it's like sushi, that it's like
there's got to be an early bird special.
It costs half as much at lunch as it does for dinner somehow for the exact same thing.
Well, I think
But,
much like this sushi, it starts to rot the later in the day it gets. So this is going to be the worst of the worst, right?
No, this is as fresh as it gets. This is Monday morning.
You think she's waking up Monday morning and getting dressed like that? You don't think she was out Sunday night and it's just ending her day?
You do have a point. But look, see, that's the illusion that I want to enjoy if I'm going to partake. You fucked the whole thing up for me now, Bobby. Because I was thinking you're getting first crack at the crack, you know?
No, you're getting that crack that's stepped on.
First crack at the crack before she smoked any crack. But I don't know. There is a certain hustle. There's grind set here. But I was thinking this when I went into to Compound a couple weeks ago, that, like, dude, if I had anything from Port Authority to Times Square is absolutely just Mad Max right now in New York City. Like, it does not feel like it should be America, right?
Oh,
like
yeah.
there was a dude that just casually had a needle in his mouth, and he had one of his pant legs was pulled like all the way up to his crotch, and the guy had 10 weeping, bloody wounds that he was like trying to pick over to figure out which one he could like find a vein in. And all I could think then was, if we're doing this, you should bring back street pussy. You know?
Yeah.
Like if we're going down this road, if we're going gross again and bringing back like the 70s, let's just go all the way down. Just return to a city of absolute disgusting vice, I say to you.
You know what? What if we just did half of it, and we kept the street whores and got rid of the drug addicts injecting themselves and picking scabs.
No, I think it's got to be both, dude. I don't think you get to pick and choose here.
That's the Western version of Buddhism. It's like you can't get both.
You need the yin and the yang, But speaking of broken windows policy, our boy, America's mayor, Rudolph Giuliani, this is in the JC, which is the Jewish Chronicle. So the headline is Rudy Giuliani insulted Jewish men's genitals in rant, new lawsuit says. And dude, that is absolutely the least of his problems with the shit that he's said. Have you followed this at all?
I've seen a few of the leaked tweets, but I couldn't find them linked to an article or like a leaked messages between him and a couple of the girls, and it is rough.
Yeah, I mean, dude, every one of these things reads as like, remember Donald Sterling when the guy, the racist dude that was dating a black girl that was the owner of the Clippers. And,
the guy
but he
who
was like
mad that there were too many black people at his NBA games. That guy?
Yeah, that guy. That like everyone when she was recording him, it was like everything was like an underhand pitch to be like, okay, say something terrible, and he'd just fucking give a real ham-fisted swipe at it. With Giuliani, dude, it is just every exchange is an unforced error. I mean, to think that this man was very high up in a presidential administration and giving any kind of legal advice to anybody is really astonishing. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I've seen him before. Me and Berg were at the what the hell is it? The Copacabana? The Havana Room. I'm sorry. Now closed. It's like the nicest cigar room in New York. And Berg had a buddy that had a box there. But Giuliani and Al Sharpton were both there at the same time, like hanging out. And they are the two weirdest people in the world up close. And I've seen Barry Manilow up close. Giuliani and Sharpton are both weirder than that. And
I think you saw Manilow at the Copacabana.
Right, yeah, that's probably what I just did there. But according to the transcript, the fact that there's actually a transcript of this thing is wild. In one 2019 recording, a transcript submitted as part of the lawsuit seen by the JC, Giuliani allegedly claimed Jewish men had small penises compared to Italians. According to the transcript, he said, "The way natural selection works, Jewish men have small cocks because they can't use them after they get married, whereas the Italian men use them all their lives, so they get bigger." And keep in mind, this is an employee, right? That like this is someone that he was in some kind of like she worked for him, but it was also a mentor-mentee situation that he was constantly trying to fuck her. But like in his mind, this was wisdom, which is what makes it so much better. It's like it's not like he's like obviously making some kind of crass joke of that. It's like, oh yeah, what happens when a Jew with a boner walks into a wall? He breaks his nose. Like he was literally trying to give her life advice where it just so happens that Italian dicks grow over time.
It's interesting he only picked those two dicks. One that involved what he was and one that he wasn't.
Right. So, but here's the next part of this is a transcript from another 2019 conversation said, full sentence, Jews, period. They want to go through that freaking Passover all the time. Man, oh man, get over the Passover. It was like 3,000 years ago. Okay, the Red Sea parted. Big deal. Not the first time that happened. Huh?
Yeah.
First of all, if anybody that knows, any Jewish people know that Passover is the worst day of the year that your parents make you do, and you get through that shit as fast as you possibly can. But that line of the Red Sea parted, big deal. Not the first time that happened. Does he have some kind of Guido alternative timeline of the Bible or something?
Oh,
that
dude.
like Saint Giuseppe parted the Red Sea with his accordion?
It's actually even better than that, because in the Bible it did happen. Joseph originally parted the Red Sea, and the Jews didn't believe that he could hold it, so they went back to Egypt. And like then Moses years later came along, so he's just doing the old, come on, people have parted the Red Sea before. I saw Jordan dunk from the free throw line.
Wait, so it did actually happen before?
Yeah. Somebody went, and then the Jews were like, I don't know about
hilarious.
this, man. I'm a little skeptical.
I mean, okay. Well, maybe did you just bring me around on Giuliani? Maybe he's actually making some good points here.
He's making his good points. He's not only anti-Semitic, he's educated in his anti-Semitism. He's like, I've read that Bible.
What's more dangerous than a well-educated anti-Semite? I've always said. But yeah, he goes on to tell her at some point. He told her, "I want to own you officially," and later on in the year, he made comments about Duffy's breasts, saying, "Come here, big tits, give them to me." That's his way of calling over like an attorney that works for him. Come here, big tits. Dude.
He's the man.
These guys, all of them, they all just stay in the game too long. That like, if he could have gone out at like 66 instead of staying on into his 70s as his brain is crumbling and he's just like in the throes of alcoholism, he would actually be a well-remembered guy that still did all of this shit for the first 66 years. Like, there's no way she's the first person that he said, "Come here, big tits," to.
It's absolutely that meme where it's like the hot guy says something to the girl and she's like, "Oh my God," and then the creepy guy does and she's like, "HR." It's just that in real life. When he was America's mayor, he could call you big tits. He could own you officially.
Yeah, he told her that he gets excited thinking about how smart she is. Even if I think about how smart you are, I'll get hard.
This guy's just
I'd
stealing
never
my
think
playbook.
about a girl. I'd never think about a girl being smart. If you told me a girl was smart, I would think she's not attractive. But with you. And then his playbook is to say that this is pure harassment and an attempt at extortion. But meanwhile, she's also got like all kinds of fucking. She has actual recordings. So.
Oh God, that's gonna be better than the Mel tapes.
Yeah, but I mean, but it's going to be like, yeah. I mean, it'll definitely be funny, but it's like the dude's brain is fried by alcohol. That guy, like, there's so many tapes of him where he's like giving some kind of public speech or something, and he just starts slurring his words and shit. Like at some point, somebody has to pull that guy. But then again, it's like, you know, there's Kevin Neely has a story about being at a party and somebody tried to cut off Harrison Ford because he was wasted. And he just like turned the party upside down. He's like, "Nobody fucking cuts off Harrison Ford." He has to be the exact equivalent of that. Like, all right, bro, just go out there, keep getting on Borat movies and fucking your life up. I don't know. What do you want me to tell you, fuckface? Have fun.
How many times do you think he's referenced? Not even Al Qaeda could cut me off.
Oh, dude. I mean, how many times? Who do you think references 9/11 more, him or George Bush? Right? Like in George W. Bush's re-election speech, or no, what was it? It was the State of the Union one year. He like broke the world record for 9/11s. They did a supercut of it on the Daily Show, and he literally said it like 100 times in 24 minutes. It's the same thing, but it's Giuliani trying to get pussy. Like, to 22-year-old girls that weren't even alive. Like, why do you keep saying this? Your teeth are weird. Dude's teeth are crazy.
How sad
Crazy
do you
big.
think it was the first time he took a girl to where the Twin Towers used to be and she didn't know what he was doing?
She knew what he was doing. She was playing he was playing pocket pool. What are you doing? There are holes in your pants? How are you doing that? Yeah. That would be absolutely insane. So, okay, this was from Bro Bible of things that I hope happen. I don't think I've ever been more excited about something that I know probably will not happen, but god damn it, this is a very fun hypothetical. Let me kill my ad blocker here. The roided up Olympics could be coming our way. Roided up Olympic style competition set to debut in December of 2024. What would baseball be like if the league just allowed players to freely take performance enhancing drugs? Yeah, imagine that. How fast could Usain Bolt have run if he were able to do the same? What about Michael Phelps in the pool? We'll never have those answers due to the strict, this is the worst writing I've ever seen in my life, the strict drug testing protocols meant to ensure the integrity and fairness of those sports and competitions. But we might just get a glimpse into the answers to those questions starting next year. Introducing the Enhanced Games, an Olympic-style competition where athletes will not face any drug testing at all. The idea comes from London-based businessman Aaron D'Souza, who told the New York Post that he wanted to create an event to compete with the corrupt Olympic Games. Fundamentally, the Olympics are broken. The Olympics are bloated and over-bureaucratized. The many layers of organizations and committees and subcommittees and federations are an alphabet soup that has created an unbridgeable gulf between the athletes and the Olympic apparatus that is meant to sustain them. We believe that individuals are best placed to make their decisions about their own bodies in consultation with doctors. Therefore, we would welcome all performance therapies that are done under medical supervision. So, all you have to do is have a doctor sign off on this shit. Could you imagine the fucking Mexican doctors that are going to come out of the woodwork to sign off on a team's protocols?
Yeah.
Just somebody's going to call up Larry Nasser. Like, hey, Larry, we know you've been cooling your heels for a little bit, but we got a team for you, brother.
We're going to put $100 on the books, and we just need an autograph from you. That's it.
Dude, the Roid Olympics would be so fucking dope, dude. I've been saying forever with baseball that if you really wanted to make it fun, just stop piss testing these guys, give them aluminum bats, and just let it rip. Like, just make the pitcher's mound the most dangerous place in America, with a ball coming off at 200 miles an hour. that total side story here, but I heard this story through a friend of somebody who went to like an over 50 softball game in Brooklyn, and some dude is on the pitcher's mound throwing overhand, and he's got a catcher's mask on, as a pitcher, he's got the catcher's mask on, and he's like, dude, what the fuck? This guy can't throw this way. Like, what are you doing? And the other team's like, dude, if you want to go out there and tell Tony Danza he can't throw overhand, that's on you. It was Tony Danza. out just rifling softballs overhand. But, dude, the juiced up Olympics would be so goddamn fun.
Yeah,
Like-
well, not just juiced up. Like, obviously the bro Bible leaned into the steroid perspective, but there are so many other things you could do that would help you.
Like what?
Cocaine,
Oh.
methamphetamine,
Oh, yeah.
you know, all
I-
these other they're thinking long term. I'm thinking day of the event.
Right, dude. Well, amphetamines used to be really big in long distance stuff. There's a thing in. I started watching the thing about there's that documentary about the Tour de France on Netflix. I really haven't watched Tour de France at all since the Armstrong days. There was one. It reminded me that there was one time. I think it was his 5th or 6th win when there was a guy that the guy had broken away from the whole pack, and Armstrong didn't need to win the stage to hold on to the jersey. And the guy had broken away by like 5 minutes. And then Lance just went rogue and caught up to him. He took a domestique with him to pull him up there to get even with the guy. And there was some kind of bad blood because something had happened the day before that Lance didn't like. But he pulled even with the guy, looked over at him and winked, and then stood up on the pedals and wound up beating him by a couple minutes. And it was that exact moment when he stood up, and it was oh, he's for sure juicing. There's not a chance that you're just gonna pull away from the fastest guy that guy was the king of the hills, and he was just fucking with you, just for pure spite, you're gonna stand. He was dancing on the pedals, dude. It was yeah, I think there might be some certain allegations that might be correct. I always thought it'd be weird, I guess. If you do that, this is what I'm getting at, is how weird it would be with your parents if you're just all of a sudden you gain 40 pounds of muscle. You know, there's a kid that was a waiter in Hamilton that used to go to my gym. He was a baseball player, and he was in Tyler Durden kind of ripped shape. And I didn't see him for a whole summer, and then I saw him, and he was legitimately 50 pounds heavier, and he had the pit bull jaw and stuff, and he was Italian, so he lived at home. How do you explain? Yeah, I've just been hungry. I don't know, Ma. You know me. It's good. It's hungry season. But all this talk of fights. As promised, we have to get to the Montgomery Brawl. Have you been... Well, first of all, let's also test this. Twiz, has the Montgomery Brawl made it all the way to Nigeria? It has. Dude. This is going to be the new Juneteenth. This will be the most celebrated day by black people. This is Black Christmas. Bobby, were you following this thing all day?
Oh, you know it, buddy. This is
Yeah.
one of my favorites.
Yeah. But did you know how it started? Because you have to do some
Still
real
don't
digging.
know, yeah.
Okay. Well, you're about to learn, though. Everybody saw the first punch. I feel but you didn't actually see the build up to it. So pull that up, Bobby. It's right at the beginning of it. We're going to play the first 35 seconds of it.
Those
Yeah,
guys
get audio on that.
who parked there were told not to leave it there, and they left it there. So he's just pushing it on.
Pause. Okay, so what that was, Did you just go backwards? So yeah, so these people recording here they're on like a booze cruise or a dinner cruise or whatever. It's a booze cruise. And when they got back, this boat was in their dock slot. So they couldn't dock because this pontoon boat was there. So they let some people off. They let this guy in the black and white. They let him off the boat, and he looked around for a while, and then he just moves the boat. So go ahead.
That's fun.
Zoom in more on that.
Took matters into his own hands. I love it. I hope the police give him a big old ticket.
Back it up. Hold on. Back up and play it from. Watch this fat lady run. There's an unappreciated part of this is how many fat people you will see running in this thing. You can zoom out on her and you can see her run. She starts running from all the way up there on the promenade or whatever. And she gets in his face. Okay, back to sound.
And with the owner of the boat.
They know his name. Knock his ass out, Damien. He's been on the booze cruise with him the whole time. All right. Stop it. Was that to the 35-second point?
Oh yeah, we're at 1:07 already.
Okay. So far, bad, but no physicality yet, right? And then jump to the next point that I told you to get to.
Yep, one sec.
I feel like this is a... There, okay, stop. Okay, so you have a redneck family. Just keep that up, though. You have a redneck family that has presumably been drinking all day for that man to have a wild white ass on a very sunburned body, right? We're in Montgomery, Alabama. I'm going to go ahead and say not the wokest family, right? Let's just go ahead and say we'll lean racist. And then after their boat gets moved and they're fucking drunk and hammered and try to figure out how to get this thing back, then they start hearing a dozen black women from across the river start screaming, "Move, bitch! Get out the way! Get out the way!" This has to be taken into consideration when this guy's like, "I'm gonna swing." So go ahead. You know how loud that is, dude? Water. Sound travels so good across the water. And then Faison Love is just trying to point the guy away. All right, then go to the next point that I got you at. There we go. Stop. The single funniest use of when he throws the hat, he does the exact opposite of what you're supposed to do with the throw the hat. Like, he basically did the, "Hey, what's that over there?" But he looked at what's over there. Like, the guy didn't look for 1 second. He's just like, "I'm going to stare over there," and just gets fucking popped. But he also has a solid 90 pounds on this guy.
I saw a lot of people on what some call Black Twitter saying that the Bobby Shmurda hat toss is now the bat signal for I need help if you're a black guy.
Hilarious, dude. Okay. If you stop right here for this family, they just had a great day. They just successfully pulled off the first borderline lynching in flip-flops, right? It's going to be a good story when they get back to whatever shithole in Alabama they go to. Then it starts to turn. Go. More flip-flop warriors show up. How did that kid get punched? I just realized that. Oh, this is where it starts to get real. When the dude in the Nike shirt shows up. This is a very hard to say this the right way, but hold on with that. It's real hard. It's real hard to always. Well, first of all, I will say I never root for the bullies in a given situation. But this aside, I don't think people can appreciate how hard it is to have to root for the white guy all the time. I mean, this is a tough one. This is a real tough one. Even in a one-on-one situation, like, fuck, this is a tough one. But when it was 4-1, definitely not rooting for him. But let's get to the next part where you got your boy jumping in. This is where it really starts to turn. That boy's swimming his ass over there. Dude. Pause. This has to be the first black guy ever to swim to a fight. I'm going to put that out there.
Also a strong thought going around Black Twitter right now.
Yes. And B, if you're willing to swim to a fight, you know how to fight. Right? That's not like, that's the least casual way to enter a confrontation, by breaststroke. I actually do know a guy that swam to a fight before, and he's a fucking psycho. Get out there, young buck!
I like the fact that he doesn't just instantly jump in. He takes a second to dry out his shoes, so he's got good traction in the fight going forward.
Yeah. Well noted. And right now, if you stopped right now, if the whole thing stopped, I feel like this would be the point in Requiem for a Dream where it was like if you stop at the halfway mark of Requiem, if the power just went out the first time you ever saw it, you'd be like, let's go do heroin, dude. Right? Dude, heroin looks like it fucking rules. Nobody's arm has gone septic. Nobody's had to sell their butthole. Nobody's lost their mind. Play the tape. Go to the next spot that I got. Yeah, when Faison Love starts running there. Now go to the next video that I showed you. This is what we now know as I feel like the hat thing is hilarious because I always felt like growing up the equivalent to the hat was if somebody ever screams, "Hey, that's my cousin," you're fucking toast, dude. Hey, that's my cousin. I feel like that's what happened in this exact moment, and just an entire fucking family reunion showed up. But it was all crew. That is the impressive thing about it. It's all crew. Volume, if you would, Robert. The commentary is priceless. Woo!
They scared. Look at them. They scared.
Look at the thousands of hearts and comments on this thing. Oh, dude.
Woo! That what you get.
Woo!
That what you get. That what you get. Oh,
Uh,
tie her ass up.
There was the girl in the green dress. At first, I thought she was getting her ass beat by a guy. Nope, it was a girl. It was a girl. she whooping her ass. She whooping her ass. Give this girl a contract. This would be so much more fun than listening to Joe Rogan talk about actual technical shit. I just want to hear a black girl from Alabama. Just, oh shit. Skip it forward to the whole next perspective. It was a good, healthy routing at this point, but then this one, yeah, this is where it goes bonkers, dude. These two are having a fair one. The redneck with the shirt off is actually, he's got the best chin in the whole thing, and he's in flip-flops. We do have to make note of that guy's got a flip-flop. That's a flip-flop.
Gun. I thought it was like, look at his discipline. Good for him. He didn't even pull that gun out. Nope, flip-flops. What a loser.
Nobody in history has ever won a fight with the flip-flop in their butt crack.
It's not a good move.
It's like, you can't be concerned with losing your flip-flop and a fight at the same time against an entire fraternity. And then, oof. Bigger, Bobby? Here comes the real zinger of the whole thing. Wait. Chairman. Hold on, you gotta back it up, son. Back it up 5 seconds and zoom in. Make it bigger. Yeah, this is where it officially goes sideways. Chairman. This turns it into a full-on Boondocks episode. Oh! Dude, the guy with the flip-flop in his ass is taking shots. He took like 5 chairs to the dome and kept it moving. But then Chairman got greedy and he bonked the chick that was on the floor. But there is a GoFundMe for Chairman. Which is unbelievable. But the thing that hit me from this whole thing is that, to me the funniest part of this whole thing is that, well, first of all, I mean, there's going to be like town heroes now in Montgomery, but whoever that family was, assume it was mostly family, they didn't know where to dock, right? Which means they didn't have a slip at that dock, which means that they're not from that town, and they still had to have a boat ride home after they just got an epic ass beating. You know they talked to the cops, right? Like, so it's like they got ice, they got medical attention, whatever. So now these motherfuckers have to go home. Like, it's almost getting dark, and everybody, including the dad, the son's friends, everybody's wife, girlfriend, everyone got their ass beat. You want to talk about how quiet that fucking boat ride was, dude? Beautiful ass sunset. You got some shit on you. You're just holding ice on your face. Like, man, fuck this sunset. And you know it all came back to the jerk off that was like the boat captain that was the first one to take a swing. Right? Like, dude, you just couldn't fucking let this thing go. Couldn't just move the boat. Nope. Had to take that swing. That's a quiet boat ride, Bobby.
They forgot the golden rule. which is you got to look around and count your numbers.
Yeah. Dude, but I mean, the fact that they're swimming across water, I mean, we're not even safe in the water anymore. You know, that was always my plan for the apocalypse, is take to the water.
That's the best part, is they're going to go try to tell their racist friends what happened, and none of them are going to believe 3 dudes swam across to fight them.
Oh, I don't think they're going to have to tell anybody. They're pretty famous right now, bro. It's only a matter of time before the internet actually finds out who they are, because I already saw a thing that they found the 16-year-old kid that swam to the fight. So I think we're gonna know everybody's name real soon. But dude, I've been on a boat before where we just lost a race, and you still have to go back like a mile and a quarter to get back to where you set in. That's a bad boat ride. That's without the entire family getting stomped out by the Black Avengers. But all right, well, this was fun. This was a dumb episode. I'm sorry, guys. I should do better. If you're one of the 4 dozen people watching this, you're a real sick fuck. But no, I appreciate you guys. This is always so much fun. Everything for me, if you want to follow me, is at Richie Redding. The podcast is Really Real with Richie Redding on Richie Redding Comedy. Subscribe, like, share, shove it in your pee hole. You know what to do. Appreciate you. I'm really real, and that's Richie Redding.
In a world that's been kicked in the nuts by fake news, nobody knows what to believe.
I don't know what I said.
We need one maverick newsman to cut through all the noise and tell us what's really real.
I'm not that guy.